Hallo und herzlich willkommen zur neuen Folge von Slay the Princess. Wir haben uns entschieden, das Blade zu holen.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
So, what? You're going to try and kill me? You'll regret this. I promise you. But go ahead, run along and get whatever you're planning to get. But you'd better hope that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Ja, wir fragen nach Hallo. Ne? Wir fragen nach Hallo, bist du da? Das ist in einem schlechten Horrorfilm. I think we got off on the wrong foot. Do you think we can start over? Und das ist leicht, glaube ich, was mir hier ist. Das Let's finish this. Ja. Ja, komm, wir machen. Nehmen wir das, komm.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she?
Close the door behind you. Das. Oder wir nehmen Efficient Guard the Arm.
As you step towards the severed limb, you hear the pattering of feet behind you, soft against the basement floor, then loud and desperate against the stairs. You turn to chase after the princess, but she's fast and has too much of a lead. She slams the door behind her before you can make it to the top of the stairs. The lock clicks into place. No!
Thanks for letting me out. I'd return the favor, but I think we both know that I can't trust you to let me stay free. You should understand. It just isn't worth the risk.
With those parting words, the princess walks away, her quiet footsteps eventually fading as she leaves you and the cabin to rot. You're stuck here. Alone. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. You don't know how much time passes before the end, but eventually it comes. The world ends, and you end with it.
Ich hätte einfach noch abspringen sollen. The witch.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Und warum kann ich das nicht überspringen?
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Komm, lass uns reingehen. Keine Zeit verlieren.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Don't worry, you can trust us to get the job done.
Mhm. Auf jeden Fall. Der einfachste Job der Welt, ja, ja. Mhm. Ja, nee, ist klar.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happens to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Kann man beides machen? Das da hier so gesehen, das Spiegelbild und das da machen?
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Say nothing. Hello? I am not nasty.
Silence, I see. Don't think I've forgotten about you. I recognize the sound of your nervous little footsteps as soon as they came into my home. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
I'm sorry about last time. Look, I made a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? I'm sure you've made mistakes. Was haben wir noch so im Angebot? Da unten ganz unten hast du Slay the Princess. Und bei denen da steht It like to be staring forward with my instructions. I didn't care for how you trusted me last time, and I think you may be a danger to the world. I'm going to attack you now. Ich will eine Erklärung geben, warum wir sie töten. Let's go, komm.
Do you think that being direct with your ill will frees you from its wickedness? Murder and betrayal are still murder and betrayal, whether you state your intentions or keep them hidden behind your back.
See, this is why we never tell people what we're actually thinking. She's just as mad, only now she's ready for us.
Still, better a violent fool than a plotting coward. Better for me, I mean.
As you close the distance, readying your strike, the princess's chain falls from her wrist. She takes advantage of your split second of surprise and throws a fistful of dirt into your eyes. She could have gotten out of those the whole time, that sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. It's a shame we're playing opposite teams. This is why you couldn't just abandon her here. Left to her own devices, she would always find a way out. Now stop her.
You must have known I would be ready for you. Deep in your heart, you know the same things about me I know about you. We're both so very awful.
As you brush the silt from your eyes, the princess tackles you, flattening you against the dirt floor.
We were always going to kill each other here, weren't we? I can't trust you, and you can't trust me, and those doubts spin and spin and spin into hate.
She buries her teeth deep into your chest, tearing at... Right, she's distracted. Stab her in the back. In for a penny, right? Why not? As the princess rips meat from bone, you plunge your weapon into her unprotected back.
You bastard! Even face to face, you find a way to stab me in the back. I know you. You're hideous. Absolutely wretched. Just like me.
Maybe we are the same. So what? Throw her off us. Kick her in the shins. We don't have to fight so dirty. course we do. Fighting clean won't help us win. It takes a wretch to know a wretch, and we're all at the bottom of the barrel here. There's no point in pretending otherwise. Are we at the bottom of the barrel? We've got dirt in our eyes and a chunk of us chewed out. If that's not the bottom of the barrel, what is? No arguments here. You're doing great. Keep playing dirty if that's what it takes. But if we win, we won't be at the bottom anymore. We'll have climbed a little higher. And once we start climbing, well, who knows where we'll stop? You'll stop right here if you keep daydreaming. Don't let yourself get distracted thinking about what comes after. None of us ever said we stopped fighting. What a low and vicious fight it is. Eyes gouged, skin scratched bloody, hair ripped and nails broken. Every rule there ever was in the book of honourable combat. Both you and the princess have broken 12 times over. That's nice and all, but are we winning? Nobody's winning. I thought playing dirty was supposed to give you the upper hand, but I suppose that doesn't work if you both sink to the same lows. Still, at least you're not losing. The princess cackles maniacally as the fracas continues. But behind her cackle, you hear the low groan of warping wood. Wait, what's going on? We're establishing a newer, better packing order. No, the groaning thing. Why is the wood making noise? Who cares about the groan? It's just a sound. Things make sounds all the time. I care about the groan. Doesn't that mean something bad is out? Oh, yes, well, I'm afraid that's the sound of the basement getting smaller.
You hear that, you pathetic wretch? Those are the roots of the wild, and they're coming to choke the breath from your lungs and squeeze the life out of you.
Excuse me, what? You and the princess disengage for a brief moment, just long enough to get your bearings. Behind you, the basement door has been sealed over, thick roots barring your only exit from the dirt pit. And slowly, but very perceptibly, the roots are closing in on you both.
That's right. They're coming for you. And they won't stop until there's nothing left down here but them.
Okay. Go out fighting. Draußen machen. Give up and await for death. Aber wisst ihr was, wie wir uns entscheiden? Will ich jetzt mal sagen, das safe müssen wir. Das ist eine. Mal, ich habe zwei Möglichkeiten ausprobieren. Einmal das und einmal das. Aber eins von den beiden probiere ich aber erst in der nächsten Folge aus. Damit sage ich erstmal vielen herzlichen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Haut rein. Ciao.